Okay. That is good. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Today's class is about the sacrum. Yes, this is a. I think everybody can see this bone. So this is a bone which is present posteriorly in that of our body. So it forms a boundary of the top of your pelvis. Anteriorly, it is a symphysis pubis. It is present. Either side is that of your two hip bones. That is a ilium, ischium, and what is there. And on the posterior side, it is what you can see that of the sacrum. Yes. So posteriorly, the sacrum is formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. So what you are seeing, this is formed by the fusion. It is not a single thing. So it is formed by the fusion of the top vertebrae. So whole this triangular bone is a fusion of the top 5 sacral vertebrae fused together and form a single sacrum is formed. Okay. When you see it, when you see this one, either side of the sacrum articulates by means of the hip bone and forms a joint which is called as sacroiliac joint. So this is that of this articular part. This articular part articulates with the corresponding hip bone with the corresponding ilium and forms a joint which is called as sacroiliac joint. When you see that of here this triangular shape, the upper part is called as that of, it is very massive. This is called as that of your base, and the lower part is called as that of your apex. So this base is massive. It is because it controls that of your body weight. It bears a body weight. So the base is what which bears a body weight. Unlike when you see the apex of the sacrum, it is free from that of your body weight. It doesn't bear any weight. So it is free from that of your body weight. With this introduction, when you see the features of the sacrum, which is a triangular bone, consists of a broad, the thing earlier we have discussed such, this is called as the your base of the sacrum. Beneath part is called as the your apex of the sacrum. So this is the apex of the your sacrum. Next, there are four surfaces. The inner surface, smooth surface, is called as the your pelvic surface. So this is called as the your smooth pelvic surface. There is posteriorly, when you see, there is a posterior rough surface which is called as that of your dorsal surface. This is a posterior surface which is that called as that of your rough dorsal surface. Next, and these are the two lateral surfaces, that is right lateral and that of your right lateral surface and left lateral surface. So these are the external features of the sacrum. I am repeating again. The triangular bone, the sacrum, consists of base at the upper part, apex at the lower part, smooth surface, four surfaces, inner surface is smooth which is called as pelvic surface, behind the surface is called as rough surface which is the dorsal surface. On either sides what we are seeing is right and left lateral surface. When you see that one, these features we will be going on each one in detail. First one is that of the base. When you see the broad base, this is a broad base. In the center, it is formed by means of the body of the first sacral vertebra. As such, we have told that all this sacrum is formed by the fusion of the all 5 sacral vertebrae fuse. So when you see the base in the center is formed by the body of first sacral vertebrae. The first sacral vertebrae forms the base. All of you knew what is it of a vertebrae, normal vertebrae, what does it consist of? It consists of the body is present. Next, you can come across that of your pedicis, lamina, spinous process, transverse process. Yes, same thing is also present to that of your base part. Yeah. So when you see that one in the center, this is the body of the first sacral vertebrae. The body of the first sacral vertebrae. Above, superiorly, it articulates with that of the inferior surface of fifth lumbar vertebrae. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So, fifth lumbar vertebrae. So, the superior surface of the base of the first sacral vertebrae is articulating with that of the inferior surface of the fifth lumbar vertebrae. Next, when you see that of your behind that of your base, there is a triangular aperture. So, this is that of your what you are seeing is a triangular aperture which is called as the vertebral foramen. So this is a vertebral foramen. What you can be seen behind that of your body, it is present. Either side of that of your body, there is a small thing which is called as the of your pedicels, small extensions which is called as a, so posteriorly it is extending. So this is a small thing what you are seeing. This extension is called as the of your pedicel. Either side of the pedicels, if you go, what you are seeing above, so this thing is called as the of your superior articular facets. So these are called on either side, what you are coming across is called as a superior articular facets. When you go behind still, so these are the posterior structures part. So when you go still behind, so this part is oblique part which is called as laminae. So these are the two laminae on either side. The laminae fuse together and this is called as a up here spinous tubercle. Yes, and either side what you are seeing, this long elongated mass tube what we have said, the base is formed, is called as a transverse process. So when you see the base, you have to remember what we have seen in a normal vertebrate. A normal vertebrate, what we come across, a body, a vertebral foramen, laminae, pedicel, superior articular faces, transverse process. Same thing also can be seen on the base of the top of your sacrum. So this is the top of your body in the center. Behind posteriorly, if you go, the thin part is a bridge what it is forming. These are called as the pedicels. Yes. If you go still behind, so this is called as superior articular facet. This facet what you are seeing is called on either side is a superior articular facet. Just behind that of the body, what you are seeing the foramen is called as that of your vertebral foramen. This is a vertebral foramen. Either side of the vertebral foramen, it is bounded by that of your laminae, curved laminae. This is a curved laminae ending into a spinous tubercle or the spinous process. This process is called as a spinous process. Either side of this, on the base, the big extensions what you are seeing are called as massive extension. These are called as a transverse process. The transverse process, so this transverse process is formed by that of your fusion of the costal element and also by that of your transverse process and also the lateral masses. So this is a lateral mass. So lateral masses along with the fusion of transverse process and the fusion of the costal element forms a massive transverse expanded transverse process what you can see. When you see the transverse process in front posteriorly you can see it has a round or fan shaped extension at the sloping surface. This is called as the top of your ala. This is called as the ala of the top of your sacrum. The round part what you are seeing are the extensions, fan shaped extension which is called as the ala of the top of your sacrum. The expanded part of the transverse process consists of medial smooth part and the lateral rough part. This is the medial smooth part. This is the lateral rough part. So this is about that of the base. So this is what you are seeing is that of their base. After the base, when you come across that of your apex. So this is that of your apex. The apex is non-bearing part of that of your weight. It doesn't bear any weight. It is non-bearing. It doesn't bear any weight. So the apex, what you can see the curved part is doesn't bear any weight. It consists of a oval facet. This is a oval facet what we are seeing. This oval facet articulates with that of the coccyx, superior surface of the top of your coccyx, and above the upper part of the apex articulates with the inferior surface of the top of your S5 sacral vertebrae. It articulates with the S5, below it articulates with the top of your coccyx. So this is the oval facet by which it articulates with the top of your coccyx. So this is about the base and this is about the top of your apex. After the base and apex, we will be coming across the top of your surfaces. As we have said, it has four surfaces. The first surface, the inner surface, what you are seeing is this is the inner surface, what you are seeing. So this is the inner smooth surface, what you are seeing across. This is the inner smooth surface. So this inner smooth surface is concave. When you see it, this is concave in shape. It is directed forward and upward, forward and the top of your upward. So when you are directing the top of your forward, there is part what you are seeing in the body, it will be in this way. So when you are seeing it, there is a small projection of the body which is called a sacral promontory. This part is called as that of the sacral promontory. The body is giving that indication. So this is called as that of your sacral promontory. So when you see that of the pelvic surface, in the center of that of your pelvic surface, you can see the bodies. This is the body of that of your first sacral vertebrae. Coming in the pelvic surface, you can see all the four, this is the first sacral vertebrae, all the five sacral vertebrae are fused, and this is the fused sacral vertebrae we are seeing, and forming in the center. When if you are touching it, you can come across that of your rough transverse ridges. Transversely, you can come across that of your in the median part. These are the transverse ridges. These transverse ridges indicate the fusion of five sacral vertebrae. All the five sacral vertebrae bodies are fused. That is seen by means of the top here. You can see come across by means of the top here transverse ridges. Okay. Either side of the top your transverse ridges when you go. So this is the transverse ridges. Either side of the transverse ridges where you can go, when you can come across a foraminae. These are called as the top here pelvic. This surface is a pelvic. This is sacrum. These are called as pelvic sacral foraminae. So these are on the pelvic surface. So this on either side, these transverse ridges end on the foraminae, which are called as pelvic sacral foraminae. In between the pelvic sacral foraminae, there are some bridges like, so these part what are called as bridges, which are formed by means of the top here coastal elements. So these between the sacral foraminae, there are some bridge like thing. So this is called as the top here coastal element. These coastal element fuses with the top here either side of the each coastal elements. They fuse with the top here on the laterally and forms a lateral mass. So this whole part what you are seeing is called as the top here lateral mass. What we have said, this foraminae is called as pelvic sacral foraminae. These pelvic sacral foraminae, they will communicate with that of the sacral canal. So in between they communicate with that of your sacral canal through that of the intervertebral foraminae. Through that of your intervertebral foraminae, they communicate with that of the sacral canal. So this is about that of the smooth pelvic surface of the of the sacrum. I am repeating again, the smooth pelvic surface of the sacrum from medial to lateral side. When you see it in the median part, you can come across the transverse ridges. These transverse ridges indicate it is formed by the fusion of the bodies of the five sacral vertebrae. The five sacral vertebrae, when they are fused, these transverse ridges are formed. When you go either side of the transversely, there you come across the top your foraminae. These are called as pelvic sacral foraminae. These pelvic sacral foraminae communicate with that of the sacral canal through the top here intervertebral foraminae. Either side, in between the sacral foraminae, pelvic sacral foraminae, you can see this one, yes, this bridge, which is called as the top here coastal elements. So these are called as the top the coastal elements. These coastal elements fuse with the transverse process and forms as that of the lateral mass. So this is called, so along with the top here coastal element, it is fused with the top here lateral transverse process and forms a lateral mass. This is what it is, a coastal element fusing with the top the transverse process and forms a lateral mass. So these are the features that you come across on the smooth pelvic surface. Median transverse bridge, pelvic sacral foraminae, lateral mass, which is formed by the top here fusion of coastal element and the transverse process. This is about the smooth part. When you go behind and see, you can come across posteriorly the rough surface. Yes, this is what you can see is a rough surface of the top of your sacrum. The rough surface is present posteriorly. The rough surface, what it consists of? In the median part, what you can see is a median sacral crest. So this is a rough part which is called as a median sacral crest. This median sacral crest, what you are seeing in the center, in the median part, is formed by the top there spinous tubercles. You have seen the first, this is the spinous process. In this way, all the five sacral vertebrae, the behind what you are seeing is a spinous process. They all together, they join together and form a spinous tubercles and form a median spinous crust. So in that way, in the middle, it is rough and forms a median sacral crust. But when you go and at the top your lower part, you can come across it is not fused. The lower fifth laminae is not fused and forming as an open part, a gap, U-shaped sling-like gap. This is called as sacral hiatus. You can come across the top your gap, that is called as the top your sacral hiatus. Excuse me, Andy. Sir, can you Sorry for disturbance. Okay? Yes. So in the median, so this is the median sacral crest, which is formed by the fusion of the of your spinous process. At the lower part, you can come across it is non-fused. So this non-fused part, what you are seeing is U-shaped, inverted U-shape, which is called as the of your sacral hiatus. This is called as sacral hiatus. So these are the features what is present in the median side. Either side of the median sacral crest, this space, this part what you are seeing on either side is called as that of your fused laminae. This is because here what you are seeing is the laminae. So oblique laminae what you are seeing, the same space is extending behind. So this is called the space for the of your fused laminae. So this is a fused laminae of this side and this is a fused laminae of this side. Either side of the fused laminae, what you will coming across is in line with, so this is called a superior articular facet of that of your first sacral vertebrae. In line with the superior articular facet of first sacral vertebrae, when you are going in the same way, if you are going in that way, you can come across the superior articular tubercle of the other sacral vertebrae. You can come across that of here, these are the superior articular tubercles of other sacral vertebrae. Unlike here, this is not fused, but all other superior articular tubercles are fused. These are the fused superior articular tubercles what you are seeing. When you come across at the lower part, the fifth one, it is again not fused. The fifth superior articular tubercle is non-fused and forming as a sacral cornu. This is called as a sacral cornu, which forms a sling of one part of the top here. Sacral hiatus. This is sacral hiatus. This is called as the top here sacral cornu, which is forming as the top here non-fused part of the top here superior articular facet of the fifth sacral vertebrae and is forming as the top here cornu. Either side of the superior articular facet, again you are coming across the top here foraminae. So these are the foraminae. This is dorsal surface. So here the foraminae are called as dorsal sacral foraminae. So either side of superior articular facet, this is called as dorsal sacral foraminae. Same as that of your pelvic sacral foraminae, the dorsal sacral foraminae also communicate with the sacral canal through that of the intervertebral foraminae. It will be communicating. Either side of the top of your dorsal sacral foraminae, what you are coming across, so this is called as the top of your lateral rough part what you are seeing is called as the top of your lateral crest, which is formed by the transverse process. So this is called as the top of your lateral crest. So this is about the dorsal surface of the top of your sacrum. I am repeating again the dorsal surface of the sacrum from the center, from the midline to the top of your lateral side. From the midline, in the middle, what you are seeing is a median sacral crest. This medial sacral crest is formed by the top of your fusion of the top of your spinous process. When the spinous process are fused, they forms as the top of your median sacral crest. But going at the top of your lower at the S5, this is not fused and forming a U-shaped sling and a gap that is called as the top of your sacral hiatus. Either side of the median sacral crest, what you will be coming across is the top of your laminae. So this is called as fused laminae. So this space whole is the top of your space of the top of your fused laminae. Either side of the fused laminae, you can see here in superior articular facet. When you go along in line with superior articular facet in this way, same line when you come across, you can come across the articular tubercles of the respective sacral vertebrae. So this superior articular facet is free, whereas the other superior articular facets are fused. So these are the fused superior articular facet. When you see that of your last one, this is not fused and it is forming as a sacral cornu. What you are seeing, this is called as sacral cornu. Either side of this superior articular facet, what you are seeing is these foraminae are called as dorsal sacral foraminae. These dorsal sacral foraminae communicate to the that of your sacral canal through the top of your intervertebral foraminae. Either side of dorsal sacral foraminae, what you are seeing is the top of your lateral crest. This is a lateral crest, rough part, which is again formed by the top of your transverse process and the top of your coastal element. So this is what the dorsal surface of the sacrum consists of: median sacral crest, fused laminae, superior articular process, that is a fused part, dorsal sacral foraminae and the lateral crest. Yes, so this is about the dorsal surface. Next, we have said there are two surfaces. One is that of your right lateral surface, one more is the left lateral surface. Now there are two surfaces but features are same. So right or the left, because they articulate with the corresponding ilium and forms a sacroiliac joint. So right and left lateral surface, when you see the features. So this is the right lateral surface. What are the features of this one? When you come across the right lateral surface, the upper part is wide. So this is a wide upper part and this is a narrow lower part. This is the narrow lower part. The wide upper part, anteriorly when you come across, the anteriorly it is articular or auricular. It articulates with the top the corresponding ilium and forms a sacroiliac joint. So this is the top here, the wide part what you are seeing on the lateral right or left lateral surface. Also the same features. When you see here also, you can come across the wide upper part and the narrow lower part. The wide upper part, the anterior surface what you are seeing is articular. It articulates with the corresponding ilium and forms a sacroiliac joint. Posteriorly what you are seeing in the wide part is pitted. There is a pit is there. That pit consists of the top of your joint or the top of your ligament, that is sacroiliac ligament, will be present in the pitted part. Posteriorly what is present. This is about the wide part of your right or left lateral surface. When you see that one at the lower part, this is the narrow part, the lateral surface. The lower part is a narrow surface which forms an angle. This is called as a lower lateral angle. This angle is called as a lower lateral angle. So on the lateral surface on either side, what you come across is wide part and the narrow part. That wide part consists of anterior articular part and the posterior pitted part. The anterior articular part articulates with the corresponding ilium and forms a sacroiliac joint, whereas the posterior part is having a pit in which the ligaments will be present. Next, sacrotuberous ligament. So in this way, ligaments will be present at the top of the pitted part. Coming this narrow part, at the narrow, from the top of your wide to the top of your narrow part, here you can see it is making an angle. This is called as a lateral angle, inferior lateral angle. So this is called as a inferior lateral angle of the top of your sacrum. So this is about the top of your surfaces and the top of your base and the apex of the top of the sacrum. Next, coming other than that one, when you come across and see the top of your attachments of the top of your sacrum. What are the attachments that you can come across? First, when you see the body of the top of your sacrum, the attachment is anteriorly for the body is anterior longitudinal ligament, posteriorly is the posterior longitudinal ligament is present. Next, we have seen the top of your laminae. So for this laminae, the attachment is ligamentum flava is attached for the top of your laminae of the top of your base of the top of your sacrum. Next, coming to the top of your pelvic surface. In the pelvic surface, the muscle which is arising, which is taking origin in the form of E, yes, English letter E, is piriformis muscle. The piriformis muscle takes origin from the top of your spaces between the top of your pelvic sacral foraminae. This is the pelvic sacral foraminae. In between we have said it is formed by the top of your costal element. Through that, from that costal element, there is an origin of the top of your muscle which is called as the piriformis muscle, takes origin from the top of your, from the spaces of the top of your pelvic sacral foraminae. Next, on the dorsal surface, the muscle, what is the origin is, attachment is from the spinous tubercle to the top of the articular surface, which is in line with superior articular surface. This is the U-shaped form here. So in this U-shaped form, there is the attachment of the muscle which is called as the top here multifundus muscle. So multifundus muscle attaches in this way, takes origin in the top here U-shaped link. From means it starts in this way and it takes in this way it comes. Within that concavity is that of the erector spiny muscle will be present. So your multifundus will be coming in this way. So within this, from here is the origin of erector spiny muscle. So from the dorsal surface is the multifundus and the erector spiny muscle. Next, coming from the top of your massive transverse process or from the top of your ala, what are the attachments? From the ala, which consists of the smooth part medially and the rough part and posteriorly or laterally, it gives from the top your rough part. The attachment is iliacus muscle, takes origin from the rough part of the transverse process or the ala of the base of the top your sacrum. Coming to this part from the top of your lateral surface. When you see the top of your lateral surface, what we have said is our articular part and the pitted part. Yes, this articular part is articular, articulating with the ilium and forms a sacroiliac joint. But the pitted part consists of a ligament, sacrotuberous ligament. Other than that, it also gives origin to some muscles such as gluteus maximus muscle, coccygeus muscle, pelvic floor muscle, which is one of the pelvic floor muscle. So this takes origin from the top here, pitted part, what you are seeing here. So these are the some of the top here attachments of the top here sacrum. Other than that, there are pelvic sacral foraminae and dorsal sacral foraminae, from where the ventral and the top here dorsal rami of the spinal nerves will be emerging out. This is the top here sacral canal, what you will be seeing. So this is about the top of the sacrum. In short, I will want to explain it again, in very fast way. The triangular bone, which consists of an expanded base and the narrow apex. When you see that of your base, in the center is the body. Yes, this is that of your body. Articulates inferiorly with the top of your body of L5 lumbar vertebrae. Either side of the body, there is a small pedicel. This is the pedicel that what you are seeing. Either side of the pedicel, when you go posteriorly, I have rotated it posteriorly, what you can see, this is a curved laminae. Yes, these are the two superior articular facets. Yes, behind this one, what you are seeing is a spinous tubercle. This is a spinous tubercle, and this part on either side, what you are seeing is the base as such, it is expanded because of this transverse process, which is formed by the top here fused coastal element and also by the top here lateral masses. The fusion of lateral masses forms a broad base or the broad transverse process what we are having. When you see, it consists of a fan shaped extension in front, which is called as ala of the top here sacrum. This is about the top here base. When you come to the see the top here apex, the apex is pointed. It is free fun, it is non-bearing part, whereas this bears a whole body weight. This doesn't bear, and it articulates with the top here coccyx and inferiorly, and above it articulates with the top here S5, body of inferior surface of the top here sacral vertebrae. It will be articulating. So this is about the top here apex. When you come across the pelvic surface and the dorsal surface, when you see the smooth pelvic surface, in the center what you are seeing is the transverse bridges, which is formed by the fusion of the top here bodies of the top here 5 sacral vertebrae, which end on either side into pelvic sacral foraminae. These are the pelvic sacral foraminae. On either side of the top here pelvic sacral foraminae, these are the lateral masses, which is formed by the fused coastal element. It is formed by the top here fused coastal element and the top here transverse process. So this is seen on the top here smooth part, transverse ridges, sacral foraminae, coastal element, lateral masses. When you see in the dorsal surface, in the center is a medial sacral crest formed by the top here fusion of the spinous process. When you see beneath at that one, this is a non-fused U-shaped sling, which is called a gap, which is called as sacral hiatus. Either side of the median sacral crest is a lamina, fused laminae. So this is the top here fused laminae. Either side of the fused laminae, in line with superior articular facet. So this is a superior articular facet, is the articular tubercles what you are seeing. But these articular tubercles, unlike the superior, they are fused, whereas the lower part it is non-fused, forming as a sacral cornu. This is what you are seeing is a sacral cornu. Either side of this one, what you are seeing the dorsal sacral foraminae, which communicate with the top of the sacral canal through the intervertebral foraminae. Either side of dorsal sacral foraminae is a lateral crest. Median crest, laminae, superior articular facet, dorsal sacral foraminae, lateral crest. Next, coming to the lateral surface, it consists of wide upper part and the narrow lower part. The wide upper part consists of anterior articular part, posterior pitted part. The anterior upper part, which is articular, articulates with the corresponding ilium and forms sacroilium joint, whereas the pitted part, it helps for the top the Keeping of that of your ligaments such as sacrotuberous ligament are the origin of that of your muscles such as gluteus maximus and the coccygeus muscle. This is the narrow part what you are seeing on the lateral surface. This forms an angle. This is called as inferior lateral angle. This is about that of your sacrum. Thank you.